Hello everyone, I'm David Moffat from Axe Annex Tabletop Gaming, and today I have a Saturday morning skirmish for you. I played Five Parsecs from Home, 2nd edition, with the Mind Bullets module. In this game, I played turn 3 of my first campaign, which basically was a non-event, not much happened there. And then turn 4 is where the action happens, so I'm going to see if I can pop in a little link. So you can skip right to the action if you want, or you can just go through and see how the campaigns progress. It's up to you. It could be maybe a little boring, or it could be informative. Find out. Watch it all. I ran out of time at the end of the game, so I have to do my wrap-up as well. Right after the video, I'll show you how I applied the experience and whatever else didn't get around to doing. I'll have to double check it all. Alright, check out the video. So we're just going to go through the checklist of beginning a campaign turn. We are not fleeing an invasion. We do not travel. We're not arriving on a new world. I've already paid for upkeep. If I had not, I would have to pay 1 credit for every 4 to 6 crew members, plus 1 additional credit per crew member past 6. Pay for medical care, which I have none. And then I'm going to assign and resolve crew tasks. My options for crew tasks are to find a patron, train, trade, recruit, explore, track, and repair your kit. I am going to see if I can find some of my enemies. So I'm going to try to track them down and eliminate them. Currently, I have pirates, vigilantes, alien infiltrators, and punks as rivals. Pretty good swath of rivals, really. So I'm going to try to track down some punks and get rid of them. In order to do that, I need to roll 1d6 and add the number of crew members that are tracking. I'm going to track with 3 of my crew members. I have to roll 6 plus to see if I can find a rival. So I'm going to have the new recruits train, which is Leon and Javier. Let's see, who else should train? Also have Zach train as well. So we'll use Cole, Jacob, and Kasara to see if we can track down our enemies. Let's see. 2, 5. Okay, well, I couldn't track down my rivals. Everyone who is training immediately gains 1 experience point, so I will mark that on their sheet. Okay, well, since I didn't track down my rivals, I did not fight any combat this round so far. I will skip determined job offers. I can reassign equipment to my crew, but they're good as they are. I can resolve any rumors that I may have found, which I did not. I can play out a tabletop battle, which I cannot. I can resolve a rival status if I had fought anybody, but I did not fight anybody. I can resolve a patron status, but I did have no patrons. I can't get paid. I didn't find anything in a battlefield. Check for invasion. I will not be checking for invasion. I cannot determine any loot found. I don't have enough experience to level up anybody. I can do some shopping. Let's see, what do we got? I currently have 12 credits. I can pay 2 credits to receive a roll on a low-tech weapons table, gear table, or gadget table in the character creation chapter. I may purchase more than 1 roll per campaign turn, but I'll skip that. And lastly, I will roll on the campaign event and see if there's anything that's going to happen. I'm going to select a random character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. Looks like it's going to be Nilo. Alright, so I'm going to roll a percentile. See where I get on the table. 4D gives me... You pick up an unusual hobby, plus 1 story point, and character is bound to talk about it a lot. Nilo has picked up a new hobby. Congratulations, Nilo. Alright, we find ourselves on the next turn. What we're going to do now Let's go through the initial fees again. We're going to pay the upkeep for the crew for 1 credit. So now we're down to 11 credits. Nobody is in sick bay, so that's fine. I'm not going to reassign any equipment. No one needs to heal. I'm not sure what the resolve room is yet. I have to figure that one out. Now we're going to go to encounter. Oh, that's right, skip the crew tasks. Okay. So we're going to try to track down our rivals again. And we'll also do some more trading. This time I'm just going to send one person to look for rivals. I'll send out Kasara. So I need to roll 6. 6. Perfect. Track down those punks. And everyone else, I'll send out to train. So I found the punks, and now I need to roll to see what kind of deployment conditions I'm going to face. On a 4+, there will be deployment conditions. 4. Now we'll roll 1d10 and see what deployment conditions are going to happen. 7. Slippery ground. All movement at ground level is -1 speed. Next, I will see if there's any notable sights. So on a 4+, there will be a notable sight. 4. Wow. I'm going to roll another d6 to see that it will be a curious item. So the item is placed 2d6 plus 2 from the center of the table and can be acquired by moving into contact with it and foregoing any other actions that turn. So let's see how far from the center. 4 and a 1 is a 5. I'll use a d10 and determine which direction it's going to move randomly 7 inches. It's going up and over to the right a little. The curious item has ended up in the sandbags trap. Since I'm fighting a rival, my goal here is simply to fight the bad guys until they run off. I'm going to attempt to seize the initiative by rolling 2d6. 6 and 6 is 12. Add the highest savvy score of any crew member. In these sheets, TE represents savvy, and my highest savvy is 4. Add +1 if I'm outnumbered. I don't know if I'm outnumbered yet. I haven't resolved to see who my enemies are, or how many enemies I have yet. On a total of 10+, you've caught the opposition flat-footed. Any character in your crew may either take a normal move or may fire before the game begins. Any shot taken only hit on a natural roll of 6. Determining the number of punks I'm going to face. The first thing I'll need to do is roll a 1d6. If the score is 1 to 3, that many bonus credits will be paid out if you hold the field after the battle. No. To determine how many punks I will be facing in this battle, I'm going to roll 2d6 and pick the higher number, which is 4, and add 3+ because punks come in large numbers. Since I rolled 7 punks, I'm going to have to face 2 specialists and a lieutenant. There's also a chance I'm going to fight a unique individual. So I'm going to roll 2d6, and on a 9+, the opposition is accompanied by someone unusual. That's 8, so no unusual people. Thank goodness for me. Now I'll need to roll to see what kind of weapons the punks are carrying. So for generic punks, I'm going to roll a 1d6. The roll is 2, so they have handguns. For the first specialist, I rolled a 4, so they're going to have a cling-fire pistol. And for the second specialist, they will also have a cling-fire pistol, because I rolled another 4. So instead of using the rules play area, which is a 3x3, I'm using my kill team mat, which is a 22x30. It's a much smaller surface area, which will make a much quicker game. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm facing aggressive enemies, so they're going to come in hot and fast, and I got to determine where they deploy. I'm going to make this side 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. So they're going to deploy around that big fortification. That must be their hangout. The second edition Gretchen, with the auto guns, are going to be the guys with the cling fire pistols. The orc will be my lieutenant with a handgun and a blade. And these 4 old Space Crusade grots will be the guys with handguns, just the regular old punks. Aggressive enemies set up in a blob within 1 inch of each other, so I've had them set up in their little fortification to come storming out at us. I'm having my Battle Cats split up into 2 forces. On this corner we have Kisara, Zach, and the new recruit Javier. They're going to come up from this side of the table, while Jacob, Milo, and the new recruit Leon are going to come up from this side of the table. Make their way past the bridge, storm that fortification. Since I was able to seize the initiative, I'm going to move everyone up as fast as I can. I'm going to take a -1 to my movement because the ground is slippery. Otherwise I can move the total of my movement. Everyone has a speed of 4. I can add an extra 2 inches for the dash, and then I'll take away 1 inch for the slippery ground, making it 5. I'm going to use a special movement for Jacob. I'll just have these guys bring up the rear. He's going to use 1 inch to jump over that fence. So he's going to move 4 inches forward. Jacob has a special piece of equipment called a displacer, which allows him to move anywhere he can see. Where he's going to move is over to that fortification. He's going to jump to this point, he hopes, directly right there, but he's going to have to move 1d6 in a random direction. So we'll see what happens. He's going to move 2 inches in which direction? Over to the right-hand corner. Alright. So he's targeting this point. He has to move 2 inches over to this plate right here. Let's see. What he wants to do is throw a grenade down here. After using displacement, you can throw a grenade. Jacob is equipped with a frag grenade. After checking the range of the grenade, Jacob is disappointed to learn that he can't quite toss it down there, as it's just out of the range. Well, it turns out I wouldn't have been able to have Jacob throw a grenade down there anyway, because seizing the initiative only lets you make 1 action. But that's okay. Let's roll now to see if we can get him to be able to drop the grenade before they can start moving. Now begins turn 1. I'm going to roll 6d6 to see who can go. Rolled a 1, a 2, and 4 4s. Any of the dice that are lower than the reaction are able to go first in the quick action. So Kisara, Jacob, Zach, Cole, Javier, and Leon are my options. I can only assign 2 of the dice, so I'm going to give 1 dice to Kisara and 1 dice to Jacob. The first thing I'll do is I'll let Jacob move up to the hole with his movement and toss a grenade down. The grenade is a single-use item. It has a 6-inch range, it has 2 shots, it is damage 0, and it affects the area, and it is heavy. A heavy weapon suffers a -1 penalty to hit if the firer moved this turn, which he did. An area allows you to resolve all shots against the initial target. They cannot be spread. Then resolve 1 shot against every figure within 2 inches. So this homeboy here is going to get 2 shots in. Since that grot is in the open and within 6 inches, I'll need a 3+ to hit, but since he suffered a penalty of -1 for moving, it'll be a 4+. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, aiming for a 4+. 5 and 6 are both good results. Since both were hits, I get to resolve the attack. I'm going to roll 2d6, and I'm going to try to get a 3+, which is over the toughness of that grot. 5 and a 6. So this grot is removed from play, and anyone within 2 inches of him will also suffer an attack. He will. He will. He will. Looks like only the lieutenant is going to escape. So I'll resolve each attack 1 by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a hit. A roll of 1 does not exceed the toughness of the grot. And so he will not be removed from play. Instead, he will be stunned. I will put a stun token on him. Now for the next grunt. 2 is a miss. So he's fine. Roll for this one. 1 is a miss. He's fine. Roll for this guy next. 3 is not good enough. And finally this guy in the back. 5. That's good enough to hit. Now let's see if he's taken out or if he's just stunned. So with a roll of 3, the garrote is taken out of action. Well, not too bad overall. 2 taken out, 1 stunned. And that just leaves me with my other quick action. And she's just gonna move up. And hide. In the window. Well, I guess she's not hiding. She's not hiding. She's no coward. Okay, now it's gonna be the enemy's turn. So aggressive enemies will shoot unless they're within 12 inches. They'll try to get into melee combat. So technically, he's within 12. So I guess everyone's going to start trying to make their way up. The guy who's stunned can only do 1 move. So he's just going to move his speed of 4. Let's see, how many inches is that up? 2-ish. Which means he won't be able to climb up. He can wait there. That guy's going to lose 2. And move another 2. So I'll hop up. Move over there. You just stay there, buddy. Far is this guy away? 1, 2, 3. So basically he can just hop up there. The big boss can hop up to here. And that leaves this guy. Can hop up there too. And over another 2. Alright. And since they're aggressive, they're going to move an extra 2 inches each. Trying to get towards Jacob. So you move up to the ladder. So he'll be able to climb up next turn. And everyone will just trail behind him. Made a mistake on the initiative, so everyone moved a little farther than they should have the first time around. So the rest of the people who are moving in the slow action phase are just going to move there 3 inches. They're out in the open, but everyone's just running after Jacob anyway, so we should be alright. Alright, now that the Battle Cats have moved, it's time to test morale for the punks. Starting with the one at the closest to the table's edge, which would be this guy. On a 1 to 3, he's going to bail. He bails. He runs away. Okay, then I roll 1 more dice for the next guy to see if he bails. So on a 1 to 3, he's going to run away as well. 5, he stays. Right at the beginning of turn 2, I'm going to roll all my dice here and see who can move in the quick reaction. We got a 1, 3, 3. Alright, let's see my results. Kisara, Jacob, and Zach. So I can assign these dice to Kisara, Jacob, and Zach. Kisara, and Jacob. The punks are hot on the heels of Jacob, so you might need just to run up. Try to shoot down at them. Clear a bit of distance, let's see. Where would he be able to see somebody? The rails, and he would get assaulted. So the most he can move is 3. The ladder itself is 4. So he wouldn't be able to. So his best chance is to move over here and take a shot at the lieutenant. Jacob is equipped with an auto rifle, which gives him 2 shots against anybody he can see, but he can really only see the lieutenant, so he'll take both shots at the lieutenant. 4 and a 2. I'm going to count this situation as in cover, and as such I need 6s to hit. Jacob's combat skill is a 1, so I add 1 to each roll, and none of them We'll make it up to 6. So another 1 hits. Kisara will spend 2 inches in moving points to climb through the window, and move another 3 towards the garbage pile. That's her. And then finally Zach can move up this way. He'll do another quick movement as well, so he can move 5. Alright, now it's the enemy's phase. Lieutenant's gonna climb up. He'll move 3, so he'll have to use his quick action to get all the way up the ladder. So I'll pick up 4, and he can move another inch. Menacing Jacob quite fiercely. And the rest of the punks are gonna make their way up the ladder. Spend 2. And he won't have enough movement points to make it up the ladder. We'll mark him with the 3. So he's 3 inches up the ladder. And everyone can follow suit. 2 inches and 1 inch up the ladder. And finally, these gentlemen are going to start moving. They have a pretty good range on their weapons. Milo has an auto gun, auto rifle, so he has a 24-inch range, which means you can start taking pot shots at people on the ladder quite easily. So he's going to move 3 inches towards the bridge, and then shoot at the uppermost grot. Milo has a combat skill of 0, so he's going to need 5 pluses to hit. 1 5. Alright. Now we have to beat the toughness of the grot of 3 to wound. This weapon doesn't have a bonus to damage. 4 beats it, so he picks 1 grot off of the ladder. Next up, the new recruit Leon has a shotgun with a range of 12 inches. So if he moves up 3, he's behind. He's going to shoot up the ladder. I won't say they count as having cover. I'm not certain he has the range either. Let's see. No, he doesn't. Okay. Then he's going to spend his last 2 movement points to move onto the bridge. And lastly, our Psyker, who's very far behind, is going to move up 3 inches, move this way, just behind that token. His weapon is a blast pistol, which has a range of 8 inches, so he's nowhere near enough. You can also cast a Shroud or Distract, but no one was within 12 inches, so he cannot affect anyone at this point in time. So his turn is done too. Now lastly, since the Grots lost another fellow, we're going to have to see if they rout. So the one in the back now has to roll. On a 1, 2, or 3, he's going to run away. 5? Well, he's sticking around. Alright. And that concludes turn 2. On to turn 3. Now I'm going to roll my big pile of dice again, and 1, 2, or 3 can be used to activate people. In the quick action. 3, 3, 3, 2. Alright, I have 2 fellows at 3. And 1 at a 2.5. So I'm going to have to decide who's going to activate again. At the same time, this guy. Or Sarah. Zach. Yeah, he better activate. They're going to be pretty much even in close combat, so I can decide whether I want to bring him in first or back him up and have him shoot. Yeah, he'll just stay there. Stay there and shoot. Alright, so he's going to have to roll 2 dice. He's got a combat skill of +1, and the guy's at point blank, so that's going to help a lot. So he's giving him a +2 to his rolls. He needs 3+. So as long as it's not a 1, it doesn't miss. That's a 1. That's a 5. Alright, now there's no damage bonus to his weapon, so he has to beat the toughness of 3 in order to get a wound. 3! That's it, he took out the lieutenant. Now Kisara can make her way 3 to the bridge. Kisara has a blast rifle with a range of 16, so she can make it to the ladder. Oh, she can. She take a pot shot at one of the grots climbing. The blast rifle gets 1 shot and has +1 to damage. Alright. So she's going to need a 4+ to hit. That's a 1. No good. And that leaves Zack over here. Alright, he's going to run across the rebel, which will cost him double movement points. Which is 3, 6. He only has 5, so he can only make it to the end. That'll end his movement. Now it's time for the enemies. So he loses 2 inches. +1 is 3. Up to 6. Move up. Let's see. Well, first of all, let's resolve the regular movement. So you can move 3 inches, which puts him 1 inch away from here. And then he can move into combat with the last 2 inches. So maybe I should have moved him back. That's okay, Jacob lives only 1 life, and it's his best life. Now to resolve brawling attacks, I'm going to roll a green dice for the grot, and the blue dice is for Jacob. He gets a +1 to his roll, because he has a melee weapon. 6 and 2, Jesus. Because the grot rolled a 6, he gets an extra hit, so I'm going to roll 2 dice to see what happens to Jacob. These rolls have to beat his toughness. There's no bonus damage. 2 and a 3. Jacob has a toughness 4, so luckily, despite having 2 hits, he does not perish. Alright, now the other grot, Punk's gonna come up, makes it up to the top of the ladder, and then moves 2 inches, so he can't get through. You can only climb up the ladder, hang out behind, or you can climb up the ladder. Can't do anything. You can move behind. There we go. He'll just hang up there, waiting for a beating. Now everyone who's going to move in the slow reaction phase can go. So we got Nilo. He can go. The grot's taking cover behind the other guy, so he can't shoot. So he can just move his full movement across the bridge. Leon will move his full movement across the bridge, which almost brings him into contact with the interesting object. And Javier, gonna move through here too, so he'll spend double the movement points past the first inch. So he only has 4 left, so he can only move 2 inches in. So he's standing right there. So at the end of the turn, we're gonna roll 1 more time to see if either of these punks decide they want to flee. So 1, 2, or 3. The one closest to the edge is going to run away. 5. They're in it. They're not going anywhere. Onwards to turn 4. Let's roll a big pile of dice. See who gets to move in the quick reaction phase. 1 can be anyone. 2, 3, 3. Alright. So we'll spend the 2 on Jacob. We'll spend 1 on Javier. The other 2 have to be Zack and Kisara. Alright, so Zack and the punk are gonna face off. This time the punk grot is gonna be the red dice, and Jacob will be the blue dice. 3 and 4. Well, that's good news for Jacob, because he's got a +1 to his roll, which makes it a 5 versus the 3 of the punk. So now I'll need to beat the punk's toughness of 3. I get a +1 to my roll, so I'm going to get a 2+ in order to take him out. 6 is a big takeout, so I get to remove this guy, and I can also move back or forwards 2 inches if I choose. I can also jump off the rail, but then I would take some damage there. So yeah, he can move 2 inches, but he can't go into a brawl, so there's no point in him moving. So he'll just stay there. Next up, we'll move. Actually, he'll move 2 inches back to give them a better line of fire. So you can start taking shots at the rail there. Sukisara can shoot next. She's within range, but she'll move forwards 3 inches. And take a shot. She's going to need a 5+ to hit, or a 6+ to hit. That's a 2. She misses again with her blast rifle. Next, Zach will move up. His handgun has a 12-inch range, so he can't shoot anybody. So he's just going to move his full movement 5 inches. He doesn't have the range either, so he's just going to move up 5. Moving behind everyone. Now it's the punk's turn, so I'll run into combat. And they're going to square off. 1 green dice versus 1 blue dice. Jacob blue, Grot green. 1s and 1s, both are misses automatically. If either character scored a 1. Okay, so apparently they each scored a hit on each other for a 1. So once again we'll roll to wound. Same dice, blue and green. The Grot did not manage to wound. Jacob gets a +1 to his damage. He's got a knife, and that completely beats that Grot's little toughness. So he's out of there. Alright. That means the punks have been soundly trounced. The only thing to do now is to pick up this interesting token, and we call it a game. Alright, so I'm going to roll to see what the interesting object was. A 5. Ooh, that means it's an alien artifact. We're going to roll some percentile dice to see what kind of alien artifact we found. 84. Gives us Grav Flinger. You use once per battle. Every character and terrain feature within 6 inch is pushed 3 inches directly away from the user. Well, that sounds pretty badass. Next up, we get paid from what we grab from the field. And since I won, I get to treat any roll of 1 or 2 as a 3. 5. Perfect. 5 credits. Since I held the field, I get to roll on the battlefield finds table. I rolled a 9. I'll randomly select a slain, but not bailed enemy from the battle. You may keep any weapon they were carrying. Well, looks like I get a Klingfire pistol. Enemies are not an invasion enemy, so I don't have to roll on the invasion table. But I do have to determine what loot I found by rolling another percentile dice. 8. I found broken weapons, which means I get to go roll twice on the low-tech weapons table, as these were a low-tech enemy. Let's see, 93, a brutal melee weapon, and 51, a rifle. And if I want to fix either of those, I have to spend 3 credits. No one was injured, so I don't have to roll on that table. I have to calculate some experience, which I'll do off camera. I can do any shopping. I'm not going to do any shopping this turn. And I have to roll for a character event. So, 1 to 6. Who's it going to be? 6. It's going to be Leon. 96. Leon has finally found the true love in this bleak universe. If his motivation was romance, gain 1d6 experience. He's an artist from a regressed world seeking wealth, so no. And if not, then I get +1 story point, and I get a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Perfect. I defeated 6 punks. Jacob was the first to inflict a casualty. Special amount of experience for that. Alright, let's start at the top with Casara Lopez. So everyone's going to get +3, because they all held the field, except for Jacob Valencia. He got the first kill, so he gets +4. Three, plus. Okay, the way you apply your experience is you look at the initial XP cost in reactions, combat skills, speed, savvy, toughness, and luck. You see if you can spend the experience on it. So he has 4. He has 5. 4, 5, 1, 2, 2, 7, 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5. All right. The only skills I could raise 5 is speed or savvy. 4 won't buy me anything. 7, I could raise my reactions or combat skill. It's handy. So each experience or amount of experience points I spend will increase an ability by 1. So if I spend this 5 on Jacob Valencia on either his speed or savvy, it will go up 1. Speed currently is 4. Savvy is currently 1. Well, he's more of a combat machine. So I'll raise his speed to 5. Spends his experience points. Sorry, I can't spend anything. It's 4. Zach has 7. You can buy anything except for luck. So I can choose to raise his reaction time. 4. He can react even better. Combat skill. Combat skill up. Speed is 4. Savvy is 0. Toughness is 3. Well, I think I'll raise his combat skill. Zero. I'll have a +1. Elo can either raise his speed or savvy, or I can hold on to his experience points. Speed is currently 4. Savvy is currently +4. Wow. It's really savvy. Leave that as it is. I think he's going to hold his experience points. Spend them. A little bit of speed could be helpful. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm going to spend his experience points on speed. A little faster in the field. Javier is a fresh recruit. We could use either one of those. I feel like I need to get him close to use his psychic abilities, though, so I'm going to spend it on speed so he can move a little faster. Back down to 0. 5-inch movement. And Leon Rojas. Let's see. Spend your points too. Speed or savvy? Needs to get up close to use his gun. They could have a new weapon. Well, I feel I could use more savvy. I'll raise his savvy up. Alright, so that's exciting experience. Next, I have the option of doing shopping. But I'm not going to do any shopping this turn. And then I roll for a campaign event. Let's see what happens. 27. One of the crew found something interesting, gained 1 rumor. Oh, that's handy. +1 to my rumors. Oh, +5. +1. Oh. And I forgot to see if I've beaten my rivals off. Haha. I've forgotten to check if I don't have punks as rivals anymore. So let's see how we do that. Oh, I also get battlefield finds. So I'll roll for battlefield finds. 83. Vital info / invasion evidence. Turn this in to get a corporate patron automatically on this world. Enemy is an invasion threat, you find invasion evidence instead. So I gain a corporate patron in the field. So now I have the trade guild and the corporation. This would be putting it. Right. So I track down my rivals. So normally I would need a 5+ to remove them from the list, but since I found them, I only need a 4+. 3? Nope. Those punks are holding on. Fight those gits again sometime. That's it. Wrapped up everything I need to do for turn 4. Thanks for watching. Bye! This is a recording test. I'm gonna move the camera around and see how it does.